Hello friends, in this video let's quickly talk about how to work with foreign key constraints with examples in Postgres. In the previous videos we talked about what is unique, what is not null and what is primary key. Here to work with a foreign key, first of all I need to know the primary key. So what is primary key is? Primary key is the combination of unique and not null constraint. Then what is a link between primary key and foreign key? Yes, there is a link. Before going to talk about that link, I'll talk about what are all the prerequisites to work with a foreign key. Then why do we need foreign key in RDBMS? See, the prerequisites to work with a foreign key is two tables required. So two tables required. So why do we need two tables? So if you understand the meaning of foreign key, the foreign key is the constraint which helps us to maintain the data integrity in between the tables in RDBMS. This is very important for all transactional databases. As a Postgres developer, it is very important to know on a daily life. So as I mentioned, I need two tables. So here I am going to call it as different names. See, I am going to call it as name of the table as one is a parent table. I'm calling it as a parent table. The other one is as a child table. See, to maintain the data integrity in a database, I need compulsory foreign key constraint. To work with that, I need two tables. I am going to name it as parent table, child table, or master table, details table. It's up to me how I pronounce. So now when I talk about parent table, so the parent table should have a primary key. So that need to link in a child key through a foreign key constraint. So whatever the key we are linking in a child table, that should be a primary key in one of the table. That is the reason why we are calling that as a parent table. Means, so that key should be defined ahead of time before you touch the child table. So how do I confirm with the foreign key we are doing a data integrity? We'll see that in an example. Now, can a table, in any table, can we have multiple foreign keys? Of course, yes, it depends on a project requirement. So this child table can have one primary key, one foreign key, two foreign keys, or three or five. It's up to you. Because so means this table is acting as a child for this table, and one more table is their parent table. Assume it, that is also, for that also it's a child table. That is the reason why single child table can have multiple foreign keys, but each and every foreign key should be a primary key in the other table. Means in this example I needed two tables to work with the foreign key. While creating a foreign key, I need to specify those details. So what is the parent table and what is the child table? So that's how I'm going to link. So let me quickly start a pgadmin, and there are a couple of actions are there. So like a set null action or cascade action, no action, restrict action. We'll talk about one by one slowly. First, let's create a basic table. Okay. So let's create a basic table. So create a table, or let me copy the syntax from because we already know that. Yeah. So just see, like I just got this queries, existing queries from the previous example. So if you see here, I am planning to create two tables. One is a parent table, the other one is a child table. So I am going to name the name of the tables as department, the first table as. So I'm going to call this as a master table. Okay. So master table is a department table. so which contains department ID, department name. So if you see this is a very basic syntax of a department table. So if you see here, this is a very basic syntax without any constraint. As I mentioned, I need to specify that column as a primary key at least. Otherwise, I cannot go for a data integrity concept. So let's define the department ID as a primary key. So then only we can talk about primary key, foreign key relation and all. So as I mentioned, I am creating the department table with a primary key of department ID. Okay, simply it's a very basic table which contains 2 columns. Let's execute this. Yeah, query is created, table has been created. Now let's insert like a 1 or 2 records. So I'm going to make it as 1 comma. So department is 1 comma. I'm going to make it as admin. Okay, so let's create this department. Execute. So the 1 record has been created. In the same way, let's create some more departments. Technical. Let's execute this as well. Okay, so let's create the third department as testing. I'm just naming some departments for our example. That's it. Not okay. So let's quickly see either data has been inserted or not. Okay. So now let us see. Select star from department. Let us see. Yeah. If you see here, so you might be having 3 records as per the insert. Okay. So you have 3 records. You can see 1 admin and 2 technical, and the third one is testing. Now, so as I mentioned, department table is my master table, so which have 3 records. Now if you understand, if you correlate the department in your real example, each and every employee of a company has to be tied to any of the department. He has to be a part of any of the department, might be admin, might be technical or testing. In one and the other department he should be working. Okay, means now while creating a employee, we need to tag that guy to a particular department. Okay, let us say now I have 3 departments: admin, technical and testing. Okay, so that is the reason why I am using department ID column in the employee table. Create table emp. So let me make it as emps employees. So emp ID int, employee name varchar and location, and department ID. So as of now, it's a very basic syntax. It does not have any constraint if you see. So let me make this as a primary. It's up to me. Primary key, since that's a because I'm planning to keep employee ID as unique. Now here, so department ID, how to link this and that. So now, so I correctly mentioned it's a primary key. Then how to link this EMPS table with a department table is, so once you are done with create, so at the end you just need to write the foreign key constraint syntax. So first you need to say the constraint and name of the constraint. You need to name for each and every constraint. If you see in the primary key constraint video, by default system is giving some names. So here also, here I'm not giving any specific name, but internally system creates a name for us. Now, but in the foreign key case, you need to give a name. As per the naming standards, you have to give like this fk underscore. So name of the tables you need to mention. Ideally, I'm going to keep like this EMPS. There's a child table to parent table DEPT. So that whenever I see the name of the constraint fk underscore EMPS DEPT, I'll clearly understand, okay, this constraint is linking between these 2 tables. Space. So you need to write foreign key of. So you need to use, what is the column name here? DEPT ID. So this is from a child table. References. Come here out. Yeah. References. What is the table you need to use? Department of what column you are to use. So here luckily I'm keeping both the names are same, but there are cases where so the name of the child table column and name of the master table column might vary. So you need to be very careful. Okay. So now like once you are done, this is a syntax. This is how we create a child table. So while creating a table, you can specify like this, or once the table has been created and 0 records, you can add a foreign key constraint. Even that also can be done. Okay, so once you're ready with the syntax, let's execute this. Yeah, it has been created now. If you see, simply table has been created. If you simply specify that, let me run here, select star from EMPS, it's an empty table. Okay, if you run, it's a empty table, you won't get anything here, it's a zero records. Now, so let's put insert query. Okay, so what are all the columns it is expecting? Employee ID, employee name, location, and department ID. So let's put it as employee ID as 1, so name as John, location as UK, comma. So I'm trying to insert the first employee with the name John and trying to tag the department as admin. So I need to specify the ID of the admin. Okay, so let's try here. Let's try to insert here. What will happen? So now what this insert statement validates by default is this one exists in the department table or not. Hope you know that one already exists. It's a positive case. Let's execute this. So record has been inserted. Yeah, like you can see that. Let's run the select query. You can see the data. You have a first record. Now let's try one more employee here too. Okay, so now let's make it as John. Okay, sorry, not John. Let me make it as here Kitty. So here make it as USA. Now here I am making as R3, third department. Okay, just want to differentiate between employee ID and department ID. Okay, now the other record also has been inserted. You can see here the data. The first employee is tied to the first department, second employee tied to the third department. So how to get the department name in a single query, we'll talk about later. Okay, now, so I'm planning one more employee I got in, newly joined into a company. So the name of the, number of the employee is 3. So here I'm going to, name is Teresa. Okay, so location is some UK and department. So since I know only 3 departments, but unknowingly I'm going to make it as 4. Okay, 4 department does not exist in a company. Okay, so let's try to run this query. So here these constraints by default stores with a table. It automatically executes while inserting itself. So there is no separate execution plan required for the foreign key. So let's try to execute this. So now you can see the error message. It's a developer friendly message. Insert or update on a table EMPS violates the foreign key constraint. Okay, so the detail, you will be having a detail as well. So key department ID 4 is not present in the table department. So now you can realize it. Array, department 4 is not available. Is it right? Yes, it is not available. So can I change to 3? Yeah, ideally the correct tagging is 3 only. So let me run this query. Now yes, so it has been inserted. Now if you see here for the employees table, if you really understand, I have 3 employees, but 2 employees are tied to the same department. Now none of the employees are there in the second department. Is it something an error? No. Okay, if you really understand the concept here, so one parent record can tie to multiple child records. Here one to many relationship. If you see the paint here, you see one to many. So one to many. Okay, so one parent, one department, in a single department multiple employees can work. Okay, the other side vice versa, it may not be true. It depends on company to company, domain to domain. So there are cases people might ask, sir, in my company one employee works in admin department as well as finance. It's up to the company's structural design. But here as per the current standards we go, so one parent record can tie to multiple child records. That's what the standard of RDBMS we go. Okay, so but it's up to us now how you define it. So on the whole, if you really see it, you are giving a meaningful to the data. Now assume it, if the data allows, if earlier insert, let us say, let me try to insert one more 4th employee, make it as Williams. Okay, so make it as UK, or let me try it. So if my system allows this record, then the record is a meaningless. So later if somebody asks, so what is the department of Williams? I cannot get it because department 4 is not defined at all in the system. So just to validate the data, to give a meaningfulness to the data also, foreign key is required. on the whole, foreign key constraint is the concept which provide us the data integrity in a RDBMS. So that's all about it and the foreign key examples. If you have any questions, please drop your question in the comment section. I'll try to answer as soon as possible. In the next video, we'll talk about what is cascade, what is restricted and all. Thank you.